Hello students! The vegans are arguing. Let's listen.
This is just going to be a response video to David Rams. For those of you who need a little bit of backstory, here it is. So me and David were in my Discord server having a discussion about a topic related to debate. Sometime during this conversation, Avi and Ask Yourself came into the chat, and Avi asked David for a little bit of his time. Apparently the two had a prior conversation that went unresolved, and Avi was curious to know if he could have a moment of David's time to resolve the issue.
Okay.
During the course of the discussion that took place on my Discord server, it became apparent that David really wasn't interested in continuing the conversation. And this is really puzzling for reasons that we'll get into later. But for now, the only details that matter are that Avi presented an argument for the ethical killing of so-called odd-order predators, and David
meaning lions and tigers and hyenas and predatory animals? Is that what you're referring to?
Disagreed with the conclusions of that argument, yet he wasn't really able to unpack what he disagreed with in particular.
Okay, so he had some sort of a gut feeling that something was wrong, but he couldn't quite articulate it, or he just didn't want to. Which do you think it was?
He just insisted that he wasn't willing to talk about it, and he had no interest in talking about it.
Okay.
In fact, we still don't really understand what David's objection to the argument actually is specifically. As the conversation unfolded, Avi pressed Dave for specifics about his objection, and David refused to engage.
Okay, and that bothers you, why?
Instead, they had a lengthy exchange about David's consistency on the matter of his willingness to engage. Given that he's willing to speak publicly about a wide range of touchy vegan subjects, and David ostensibly having a channel about animal rights, it seemed weird that David could not give an argument for why anthropogenic animal suffering was a worthwhile topic to cover on his channel, but natural animal suffering was not a worthwhile topic to cover on his channel. Personally, I think it's likely the case that natural animal suffering will end up being worse than anthropogenic animal suffering in a vegan world where vegans are too scared to talk about how they can intervene on nature to mitigate that suffering.
Oh, do you really think so? I mean, I'm not sure what you're saying. You're saying like just regular animal rights activists will be too afraid to talk about what the next stage should be, whether we should be starting to try to police what the lions and the tigers and the hyenas and the wolves do, that they're too scared to discuss that? Or is it because we don't have the answers? What we particularly care about at the moment, most of us, is what's happening to the farmed animals, which we have some sort of control over the population to get them to see that it is wrong to eat them, wear them, and use them for entertainment. I mean, but they are going into other areas where people are shooting lions, and they have opinions about that it's wrong, but that's interesting. So are you trying to say that when people kill lions in the wild, like in Africa, that it's a good thing because otherwise they would be harming the zebras and the giraffes and so on? What exactly is the discussion about, and what is your opinion? I'd be very curious. I know that many of you guys have put a lot of time into discussing these things, and if you want to discuss them with me, I'd be very curious to hear your opinion about it. Or if you want to put a link below to a video where you've summed it up in a concise way, I would love to show it to my audience.
If we are unwilling to talk about how human beings can mitigate the suffering of animals in nature, then those animals will likely continue to suffer in perpetuity without any advocacy. I doubt that this is a future that Dave would aspire toward.
I don't know if that's true without any advocacy. For sure, you're going to be saying something about it, and apparently your friends will be as well. And I will certainly say something about it if I feel like my words can be helpful in some way. Right now, it is still a subject that I am open to listening to more about. I haven't really given it much thought about how humans intervening in interfering in what's happening in nature with regard to these predatory animals, how if we start to remove them, how this will affect the ecosystem and the balance of nature with everything else. I haven't really given it enough thought yet, so it is a very interesting subject. Obviously, we don't want the animals to suffer more than they already are, but how much we do, how much we influence, which ones we kill will certainly affect the others. Everybody's all related here. Whereas the cows, the chickens, the pigs, all of these animals, they are some animals that we can save because they are apart from nature right now. They are in their own, cages where they are animals that we can, as humans, by talking to other people who are eating them, make a change. We can try to get them to stop their cruel behavior. But anyway, the whole thing's really interesting.
I doubt that this is a future that Dave would agree with, given his presumed commitment to animal rights.
Yeah.
After a heated
I'm sure that he doesn't want animals to suffer either.
back and forth, the parties disbanded, and I approached David in a private conversation to discuss what just transpired.
Okay.
During that conversation, I apologized for some of my behavior, because at the time I regretted some of the things that I had said to him.
I wonder what you said. What did he say? Do you think he called him names? Do you think that he yelled? I wonder what that was.
But ultimately, I encouraged David to have the discussion with Avi and Ask Yourself. From there, I personally...
Avi and Ask Yourself are also two very strong animal defenders. You guys should follow all these people, by the way. All four of them I suggest you follow. Even though I don't follow David Rams anymore because of something that happened last year, where he said that he was going to start doing a bunch of videos about other subjects not to do with veganism. So I said, I'm not going to follow you if you do that. But since then, I noticed that he has actually been doing a lot of vegan content because I come across it over on TikTok by, just by accident, stumbling across it. So maybe I should subscribe to his channel again. I don't know.
They decided to let the matter rest. That was until February 24th, when Ask Yourself posted on Twitter that the video of the incident that transpired on my Discord server had been taken down due to a privacy complaint.
Oh.
To the best of my knowledge, Dave has not taken responsibility for this publicly. However, active privacy complaints are accessible from one's YouTube studio. If David would wish to absolve himself and prove that he was not the one who filed the privacy complaint against the video, I challenge him to stream himself navigating to his YouTube studio page, finding the active privacy complaints tab, and showing us that he has not made the complaint against the video. I suspect that he is responsible for the complaint, and I also suspect that he will not do this. After Ask Yourself posted to Twitter to solicit the help of YouTube support, I also communicated with YouTube support publicly to let them know that I was the admin for the Discord server in which the video was recorded and that the event was completely public. There is no grounds for a privacy complaint in this case. It was a public discussion on a public Discord server.
Okay.
Nothing more, nothing less. Again, I decided to let the matter rest, at least for a few days, until David Rams was seen on his live stream saying this.
Let me tell you the story then, okay? So I did a stream reaction to a Vegan Gains debate stream, right? He was debating Vegan Foot Soldier about killing predators, okay? That was what the stream was about that he was doing. And you guys wanted me to react to that stream live. I asked you, shall we do it? And you guys said, yeah, let's do it, okay? So we did. And I said some stuff that he didn't like and that caused some, ruffled some feathers, basically. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what I said, so I'm not going to repeat it. But it was enough to annoy some people and obviously annoyed Richard as well. Now, as you guys know, if you're a subscriber, I made the decision to never discuss that topic on the channel before this whole thing happened, but because you guys wanted me to react, I ended up doing it, and then afterwards I was like, I don't want to leave that up. I don't want to discuss this. I never want to discuss this on the channel, so I privated the stream of my stream reaction immediately after the stream was live, right? So I did that for a few reasons. I don't want to discuss this topic for a few reasons. I think they're obvious to anybody who pays any kind of attention to it. So anyway.
It's not really obvious to people, I don't think, David, why you don't want to discuss it. But maybe you have a very strong opinion and you're worried about losing some of your audience. And I know that that could be a concern because if you need your audience, you need these subscribers in order to help pay your bills, then that could affect the way that you do animal rights activism. I get that. So, but I don't know.
Wait, I thought that was the end of it, yeah? I thought that would be it. That's over. The stream's privated now. I don't want to talk about it. Game over. Finished. Fast forward a few weeks, yeah? And now I'm in Discord. I'm on a call with Nutrivore talking about something completely unrelated. Just something, whatever. I don't even know what it was. Talking about some debate, some other kind of topic, looking for some advice. He's helping me out with some stuff. Avi, Ask Yourself, and over 100 people just swarm into this conversation out of nowhere, just burst into the room, into the Discord room, right, the voice chat place, and Avi starts demanding that I debate him on this topic, right? So I say no, and then he tries to debate me on why I won't debate him about this topic. And literally, this is how it went. And I should have just left at that moment, but I ended up getting dragged into this debate on why I wouldn't debate the topic, which was just really weird. And it went on for way too long. Anyway, in the end, I left that thing. And the situation was so bad. What they did, by the way, is called brigading. It's when you kind of just flock in and try and force somebody to target somebody, basically, and force them to do something or attack.
Okay. Yeah, maybe you should have left.
It's basically what happened. It was so bad, this whole storming thing, right, that Nutrivore had to change the rules on his server so that it didn't happen again because he agreed that it was really bad. It was a
really?
total shit show. So now, as a result of all of that nonsense, apparently I'm a dishonest coward because I refused to debate Avi on why I wouldn't debate that topic.
Well, I know, David, that you were a little bit dishonest with a video that you made about me over a year ago where you told everybody that I refused to follow you because you were going to be doing other vegan content, non-vegan content rather, and you failed to explain the exact reasons for that. The reason that I said I wasn't going to follow you anymore is because I'm not interested in your movie reviews about whatever, boy movies where people beat each other up. If you weren't going to be talking about things with a vegan spin to it, didn't really interest me. But you made it seem like I was just, not going to follow you just for the hell of it. And you didn't read my whole comment to your audience and didn't find that to be too ethical,
No, David, I did not change the rules in my Discord server in order to accommodate such egregious acts of dodging and slimy fuckery.
Oh, what is going on? Okay, so you're saying he also lied? Interesting. But those are very harsh words that you're using there. Okay, let's keep listening.
I also did not agree that the events that took place that day were a shit show.
Okay. So you're saying that David Rams is deliberately lying? That's disappointing.
I merely apologized for some of my behavior. But if you remember correctly, I actually defended Avi and Ask Yourself. Don't mistake my attempt at diplomacy for alignment with your view on the matter. I strongly disagree with the way that you handled yourself in that situation. I strongly disagree with the way you continue to handle yourself in this situation. And I strongly disagree with the way you characterized our discussion after the fact. Later on in David's stream, he responded to some of the noise that I was making in the chat about what he had said earlier in his stream. He claimed that he will never discuss the topic of odd order predator killing on his channel, and that all attempts from me to press him to do so will essentially fall upon deaf ears. This is extremely dishonest behavior from an animal rights advocate, to be perfectly honest.
I'm not sure why it's dishonest if he doesn't want to talk about it, though. How is that dishonest? He just doesn't want to talk about it.
Moonian, thank you so much for the tip. Can you chat with Nutrivore, please? I don't know, I've been looking through the chat, and I guess I don't know, I've caught a few of his messages. I don't know, he wants to talk about killing predators. I already said at the beginning of the stream that that's something I'll never talk about on the channel. So, thank you for the tip, but that's a no. And never will be a yes. I'm never going to bring up that topic on the channel, so...
I have to say, David, I'm pretty disappointed with the fact that you're taking this position, going down this road, and refusing to talk about this topic on your channel. I thought your channel was supposed to be about animal rights. Honestly, what happens to animals in the wild is probably worse than what humans do to animals in the long run, because I do believe that the world will eventually go vegan.
In the long run. Oh, you think the world's going to go vegan?
And when that happens...
Okay, but in the long run. But right now, we have so many billions of animals on factory farms who are suffering, and we have an opportunity by reaching the general public to change what they eat, what they wear, what they consume. And so maybe talking about what's going on in the wild right now is not David's priority. Maybe he doesn't want to talk about it because he just finds it's kind of a useless conversation at this time. I don't know.
Are you going to condemn wild animals to suffering in perpetuity?
I don't think he's going to do that.
Why? If that's the case, natural animal suffering is arguably going to infinitely outpace anthropogenic animal suffering if humans don't intervene.
Okay, later, right? I mean, we all of us animal rights activists only have certain amount of time in our day in which to do some work. And there is so much that can be done by just targeting the average everyday person. And what I do is I target these stars who have a big influence on the people around them, like Mr. Beast, Call Me Chris, Sniper Wolf, the Ben of the Week, all of these people, Oompaville. I go and I talk to these people who have a huge influence. And, you know, that's how I choose to do my activism. Maybe David chooses to do his activism in a different way. It doesn't mean that he doesn't care about the suffering of animals in the wild. I don't think you can assume that.
I have no idea what the motivation could possibly be for you shutting down the discourse on this topic.
I just told you what it could possibly be. He maybe just doesn't feel it's worthwhile. And also, we don't know if he loses some of his fans, whether he will lose some of the income that he needs in order to be an animal rights activist. We don't know what's going on. We don't know. But I think we need to assume that he has the animal's best interest at heart, at least, regardless of what I have, you know, previously any kind of discussions with him that didn't necessarily go so great. I definitely think that he does care about the animals, as I think you do, and all of the guys that are mentioned here.
If you think the content is somehow inappropriate for your channel, I don't understand why that would be the case. Your channel is about animal advocacy. Fucking act like it. You're literally refusing to advocate for animals here.
No, he's not.
What are you so afraid of? Bad optics, losing subs, losing patrons, losing monetization potential, losing overall viewership, selling fewer hats? Listen, we don't want the vegan community filled with cringy fuckwits who can't handle hard discussions and logical consistency.
Oh, then just ignore him. My goodness, there's not like thousands of other activists that you could talk to. Just leave him alone. Let him do his thing.
That's not good for the movement or your platform in the long run. If you lose viewership over the discussion, that's probably a good thing. In the meantime,
I'm not sure that that's true. I don't know.
I hope you reconsider your actions and stop being a dishonest piece of shit on this topic.
That's a bit tough. That's a bit tough, that language. Although there does seem to be evidence that he is dishonest. I don't like that part. But anyway, let's keep listening.
If you don't want the topic discussed on your channel specifically, I think that's profoundly stupid, but it's your channel. Do as you please. But I don't understand what the barrier could be for you discussing it elsewhere. You can talk to Vegan Gains, you can talk to Avi, you can talk to Ask Yourself, hell, you can even talk to me.
Or me, you can talk to me if you want to. I'm interested in these subjects.
We all have Discord servers,
I don't
have YouTube channels,
Well, I mean, I do encourage people to go to this one, which is one that some great activists told me that they would like me to promote. So here's one, discord.gg/vegan. They are trying to educate people. If you are a new vegan and you want some help, some coaching, recipes, or reasons to be vegan, go and sign up there. Discord.gg/vegan. All right, let's keep going.
All have platforms for you. If you're not a coward and actually have no issue having this discussion in general.
Hold on, I just want to be clear about something. I do have a Discord, but I never go there. At the moment, I'm just too overwhelmed. I'm just too busy to go there and talk and chit chat with people.
Even if you don't want it on your platform specifically, then have the discussion on someone else's platform. Anyway, the ball is now completely in your court. If you want to continue being a cringe lord and failing your fortitude save every single time this topic comes up, go for it. That's your business.
That is really harsh. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. Who do you agree with? Do you know who David Rams is? Have you ever followed him? I suggest you follow him. And you should follow this guy too, Nutrivore. And you should follow everybody who's mentioned during this video. And follow me too. If you like this kind of video, if you like it when I show you guys the things that are going on behind the scenes or whatever, let me know. I am Miss Katie, That Vegan Teacher. I want to thank you guys so much for being here. Please press the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell. And coming up on screen are going to be a bunch of other videos. There are 2,100 plus videos to choose from. Make some popcorn, vegan popcorn, and have a look. Just enjoy the ride. Thanks for being here. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.